Welcome back. Today we are really strapping in for a deep dive into Grokpedia. This is the new AI-powered encyclopedia from XAI, and it's making some pretty bold claims.
It really is.
We're looking at a potential challenge to, well, everything we think we know about online knowledge. The big question, can tech really achieve what humans haven't? This idea of absolute truth.
Yeah, it's framed almost as a battle for the mind of future AI. Our sources detail this huge project. Elon Musk announced it September 30th, 2025.
Right.
And the pitch is open source, powered by Grok AI, and aiming to be the verifiable source of knowledge globally.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive. Unpack these really ambitious claims, look at the tech foundation they're promising, and maybe most importantly, flag the huge real-world challenges this utopian project faces.
Absolutely. And it's crucial to get this up front. This isn't just like a website refresh.
Yeah.
Grokpedia is positioned as a kind of manifesto against, let's call it, informational mediocrity. It stems from a belief that the current ways we get knowledge are fundamentally flawed.
Okay, let's start right there then. Why do we need this, according to them?
Yeah.
What's the supposed fatal flaw in, say, Wikipedia that Grokpedia is setting out to fix?
So the core issue they're targeting is bias, deep-seated informational bias. Grokpedia promises something they call quantum neutrality, which sounds very sci-fi, but it's meant as a direct contrast to systems like Wikipedia.
Right.
And you've got some pretty big names like Wikipedia's own co-founder Larry Sanger publicly backing this new competition. He argues platforms like Wikipedia have become contaminated by ideological bias from anonymous editors, sometimes activist editors.
Quantum neutrality. I mean, that phrase itself, it sounds so absolute, almost mathematical. Is XAI seriously suggesting that, human disagreement, political viewpoints, interpretation, that can all just be boiled down to code and eliminated?
That is exactly the ambition. It's incredibly bold. They want to remove the subjectivity that comes with human editing.
Okay.
And they claim it's not just a feeling, there's evidence. Our sources mention a 2023 Oxford University study.
Right, I saw that mentioned.
Yeah, published in the Journal of Information Science, it apparently analyzed how anonymous editors do introduce these ideological slants, especially in hot-button topics, politics, history.
So, okay, it's more than just a complaint then. It's framed as an academic indictment of the current model. But Grokpedia has this dual benefit, right? It's not just for people like us looking things up.
Exactly right. That's a key point people might miss.
Yeah.
This is also about future-proofing AI itself.
How so?
Grokpedia is being designed specifically to be clean, verifiable training data for all future AI models. The thinking is if the internet is full of what the XAI team apparently calls basura sesgada,
Bias garbage?
bias garbage, yeah, then AIs trained on it will learn garbage. They'll inherit the biases, the inaccuracies. The goal here is to ensure AIs do not hallucinate.
By feeding them pure, untainted knowledge fuel.
That's the idea, verifiable knowledge. So it's about advancing human understanding and becoming this global standard for knowledge. Kind of an antidote, they hope, to propaganda disguised as neutrality.
Okay, the motivation seems clear, even if incredibly ambitious. Let's pivot to execution. How? How does the AI actually do this unprecedented level of verification?
Right, the how. The technical core is the Grok model itself, running in its most powerful turbo versions.
Okay.
The process is described as this intensive loop. Grok analyzes just vast amounts of raw web data, including existing knowledge pages, to figure out what claims are commonly being made.
So it's like it's using AI to grade the internet's homework. But what's the answer key? How does it know what's true before it starts cleaning things up?
That's the critical step. It doesn't just rely on the web itself. The system is explicitly designed to cross-check everything against highly credible academic databases.
Such as?
They specifically mention PubMed for medical info and Arciver for scientific preprints. That cross-referencing is supposed to validate claims. And then comes this massive computational verification process.
And this isn't just true or false, right? The classification is more nuanced.
Precisely. They're aiming to classify every single claim as true, partially true, false, or crucially absent from verifiable sources.
Okay.
The model seems to draw on principles similar to what Google DeepMind explored with their truthful QA models. And the benchmark they're aiming for is, frankly, stunning. 95% accuracy in factual alignment.
Wow. Let's translate that 95%. Does that mean if I, pull up a Grokpedia article, the idea is I can be 95% sure every sentence is verifiable compared to the wild west of the open web?
That is absolutely the intention, a guarantee of factual density far beyond your average web page. It's a huge technical lift, obviously. And XAI has laid out some concrete goals.
Okay, tell us about those KPIs. When might we actually see this thing, and what's the initial scope?
We should apparently expect a beta launch sometime in 2026.
So next year, potentially.
Potentially, and interestingly, they're tackling the hardest stuff first. The initial focus is deliberately on controversial areas: history, science, politics.
Jumping right into the fire.
Seems so. And the target is processing and rewriting 1 million existing pages within that first year. A major milestone.
And it's not just text, is it? I thought the multimodal aspect sounded really interesting.
Absolutely. That's a big part of the vision, integrating images, audio, even interactive 3D simulations and complex timelines.
Wow.
Our sources even mention analyzing videos from X frame by frame to extract verifiable facts, moving knowledge beyond just static text into something richer, more active.
Okay, and the editing process itself, they talk about zero activist control, but how do they stop it just becoming XAI's version of the truth? What's the check and balance?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. Their answer seems to be the open source community that's meant to be the transparency layer.
Like X's community notes, maybe?
Something like that, yeah. The idea is that the community verifies the neutrality, scrutinizes the algorithms, looks at the first principles the AI uses to define truth. That's the plan, anyway.
Okay, so the vision is grand. Let's talk reality checks. The downside, what are the biggest roadblocks? The spines in the crown of truth, as one source put it.
The hurdles are genuinely massive. They span ethics, practicality, legality.
We'll start with ethics. AI bias.
Right. Even if you try to build an impartial AI, studies keep showing they inherit subtle biases from the human-generated data they were trained on initially. The MIT 2024 AI Ethics Review is cited as warning about this exact problem.
So it's kind of philosophical catch-22, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need perfectly clean data to train the AI that cleans the data, but the AI's cleaning algorithms are based on potentially flawed human inputs somewhere down the line. How do you guarantee absolute neutrality?
That's the core paradox they have to solve. It's a huge conceptual challenge. And then you hit the practical walls.
Like what?
Scalability and ecology, processing petabytes of data, running these massive inference computations constantly. That takes colossal amounts of energy.
Wait, hang on. So we might be talking about a serious environmental cost just to make sure AI doesn't, make stuff up. Is the price of untainted truth potentially a giant carbon footprint? That feels like a major ethical trade-off.
It is a critical dilemma, a potential ecological issue that, frankly, hasn't been fully addressed in the materials we've seen.
Okay, what else?
Beyond energy, just plain old user adoption. Wikipedia is, well, it's Wikipedia. It has enormous inertia, institutional buy-in.
It's the default.
It's the default, convincing billions of potential users to switch. That needs more than just being slightly better. It needs massive viral uptake, sustained proof of superior accuracy over years. It's a huge mountain to climb.
And the legal minefield. If you set yourself up as the source of truth, rewriting controversial topics, aren't you just inviting lawsuits?
The legal liability looks immense. Our sources definitely flag this. If Grokpedia makes definitive statements, especially controversial rewrites, they could face endless defamation cases.
Like the issues Wikipedia editors sometimes face, but scaled up massively.
Exactly, but amplified because it's coming from a platform backed by a major entity like XAI and claiming this ultimate authority. The risk seems enormous.
But maybe the most fundamental challenge, especially for things like art, philosophy, is just the nature of truth itself, right? Subjectivity.
That's the ultimate boundary condition, isn't it? Who gets to decide what truth means in fields built on interpretation, theory, subjective experience?
So how do they plan to handle that?
The stated plan is radical open source transparency, letting the community constantly examine and debate the first principles the algorithms use. But that tension between algorithmic fact and human interpretation, that's where the deepest friction seems likely.
Okay, so bringing this all together, Grokpedia clearly isn't just another website. It's a fundamental challenge to how we define and access knowledge.
It really is. It's a profound statement, a manifesto almost, against what they see as informational mediocrity, backed by huge technical goals. And yes, support from figures like Larry Sanger adds weight. It promises, or threatens to, force a massive shift in how truth is sourced and verified, especially as AI becomes more integrated into everything.
So thinking about you, the listener right now, what does this all mean? Well, this project aims to change the entire ecosystem. If it actually succeeds, every fact you look up, every article, maybe every AI assistant you use could eventually be filtered through this Grokpedia system.
Which leads to a final, maybe provocative thought to leave you with. If Grokpedia does succeed, if it becomes the primary fuel for all major AI models globally, do we as humans still need to do basic fact-checking? Or does human verification kind of fade away? Does intellectual authority shift entirely to algorithms based on these first principles?